There are miracles that you have no idea have happened and will continue to happen. Today's conversation is because there are so many miracles that have occurred in your world that you've never seen. And if I'm bringing you more truth, which I have been over the past many videos, I've been sharing more truth with you about the collective consciousness, your raising of frequency. I've been talking to you about the false matrix, the archons that created it. I've been talking to you about demons and things that I wouldn't ordinarily have brought to you, about the collapsing of the veil, the collapsing of the astral and the underworld. And if you're ready for that level of truth, I've been talking to you about the pole shift. If you're ready for that level of truth, then guess what? You're also ready to receive the beauty, because I've said that in past videos, that there is a raw and real beauty that if you will allow yourself to step into higher vibratory truth, you're going to gain access to, and it's more beautiful than any fairy tale could ever be. There's I suppose there's three miracles really that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And as I share these three miracles, I want you to stay to the end, because at the end I'm going to share with you how you receive them more fully and actually make a concerted, conscious effort to bring these three miracles into your life. The first one has already happened, but it's going to continue. And if you allow it to, it's going to continue in a much bigger and more obvious way. The second one has got to do with the year 2023. And the third one has to do with individual power and something that's taking place on the planet to do with that individual power that's going to lead to the crumbling of the house of cards. So stay with me. This conversation is one that you really deserve. You richly deserve to receive these truths. Let's get into it. Let's get ready to receive. So that's a little bit of opening prep. Just bring yourself into receptivity to receive your highest good and your highest truth. And the beauty about that is you don't know what it is. You don't know. So there's that lovely sense of, excitement, anticipation. First miracle is that so many miracles have taken place. You've never known their names. You never will. So many miracles have taken place for you, the individual, and for humanity, the collective. You have no idea. Literally, you cannot. You will never have an idea how many things occurred in your life that saved you at the very last minute from a path of despair and a path of destruction and a path of pain. And you might say, no, Kerry, you're wrong. I've definitely had pain. I know you have. We all have. But your assumption is that this was the worst thing. The miracle is that the real worst things have been moved from you without you ever knowing it. There are so many miracles that have happened for humanity. So many World War IIIs, World War IVs, World War V, so many nuclear wars, so many episodes of destruction, so many natural events that didn't take place. Leaders that didn't get elected. Political decrees, plans that didn't play out as they were intended, the results of which would have been devastating, perhaps to your career, to the currency that you operate in, to your personal world and reality. Humanity was wired to see the worst. Humanity was wired to see themselves as victims. There's a lovely video on my channel, and it's called 4 Stone Cold Truths About Self-Pity. And if you need to watch that, or you know anyone that needs to watch that, go ahead and do that, because that's going to start lifting you out of that mindset that humanity was programmed to see. Humanity was programmed to see and affirm, look, the worst has happened again. Punishment again. Pain again. Misery again. What if you shifted that mindset into miracles again? Being guided and directed again. Imagine this, you're in a car. You're in a car, a little butterfly flutters past your window. And just for that little split second, you go, look over there. But it causes you to start putting the accelerator on just that split second later, which inevitably lands up making you just miss an accident, just miss running into somebody who you were never meant to reconnect with, just miss an event that you will never know about, that was going to perhaps end your life, that was going to perhaps end your joy, end somebody else that you know in your life. They're too big. There are too many miracles that have occurred because there's this behind the scenes operator called the universe. And what does it take for you to see this? What does it take for you to see that there is a behind the scenes coordinator that is working full time in your life, that is coordinating you, guiding you? What is it going to take for you to see that? It's going to take gratitude. Without gratitude, what I've just said to you is going to fall on deaf ears. Without gratitude, nobody's going to be able to see. Wow. There is wonder. There are miracles. I am blessed. I've just been missing it. Without gratitude, there's no key to open that door. Without gratitude, it's bleak. And it's depressing, and it's cold, and it's lonely, and you will never see all of the behind the scenes, or even a sliver of the behind the scenes orchestration of your life. That is the universe guiding you, because you are guided, you are blessed. Just like humanity, you, the individual, has been put in more places and more situations that are incalculable, that have landed up averting harm and despair that you should never have walked into. And whilst you can focus on the harm and despair that you did walk into, you have a choice. You do have a choice, and that is to start seeing, wow, but wait a minute. There have been so many moments of beauty, and what if I start to see them? So many moments of miracle. And what if I start to just say, hey, they're there, even if I don't know, and will never know what they are, because you don't need to know them to know that they have occurred, because they have. I've seen it with my own eyes. I have seen energy coming to the planet that would have meant the end, the literal end, the literal doom of this planet. I have seen those cosmic forces come in and bounce right off. You have no idea how many times this planet should have been taken out but never was. Should have been destroyed but thrives. Your life is the same. You are no different. Gratitude is the key that's going to open you up to more of those blessings, though. And I'm going to describe at the end more ways for you to connect with the blessings that are already there. I said there's 3 miracles. The second miracle is a miracle about 2023. On my birthday, I was at the beach, and it was just a golden day. It was absolutely golden. And literally, almost as if the air appeared to me to be gold, and I was standing in the waves. The water, by the way, was like ice. It was a sweltering hot day, Atlantic Ocean. It's freezing, absolutely freezing cold. And I turned behind me to see my children, my little 2 playing. My oldest son, you know how you take a stick on the beach and you might write your name or a heart or whatever it is? There he is doing maths equations, because that's his thing. He's doing maths equations. Imagine that. Maths equations on the beach, and he's just enjoying life. And the little 2 are building sand castles with their dad, throwing sand up everywhere. And the scene was just gold, and these waves were crashing, and they were so loud and so beautiful. And every now and then there would be this gorgeous lull, and this freezing cold water on the sweltering hot day would just rush over me. I felt the presence of my mom, who passed over a few months ago, and she kept saying, it's golden, Kerry, it's golden. And to my eyes, the air around me was that it was golden, and I was transported into a golden energy. And this was so far beyond wealth. I'm not talking about gold the riches, although I'm sure gold the riches is part of that abundance frequency that gold is. This gold is the restoration of humanity's truth. So it's not to say, oh, it's gold for you, Kerry. No, it's gold. 2023 is the energy of gold, but you must be able to match the resonance of that gold in order to step into it. You must hold gold in your body, which means your truth in your body, in order for you to step into and access the cosmic gold, which is here, not coming. Not, hey, imagine this. Imagine if I said to you, let's bring it in. Let's bring it in. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. No, you don't have to bring it in. It is here. The only hard work that you've got to do is learn to receive, to become more receptive, to begin to raise your consciousness. Yes, you know it already. My online community, that's where you go. If you want to raise consciousness at a very personal, real, practical, energetic level, look in the description box below. Join my online community. That's where the magic happens. But you've got to raise yourself into gold status, into that elevated gold frequency to match the cosmic current that's coming in. And when you do, the miracles that unfold cannot be told, cannot be foreseen or foretold. There will be this constant, whoa, my path took an unexpected turn, and look at how well that turned out. And look at this unplanned thing that just landed in my lap, and how well that turned out. This continual orchestration that's going to continue to elevate, elevate, elevate. The third miracle has to do with individual power. We've got people on the planet right now, and I'm going to use an example of a person who you may absolutely not like or like. It just doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter if your opinion of maybe you don't even know the person I'm going to talk about, although he's pretty well known, so chances are you do. I don't want this conversation to become about the nature of this person and whether or not you like what he does and says. There is this wonderful man. I call him wonderful. I really love him. His name is Jordan Peterson. And no, I don't agree with everything that he says. What I agree with is that he's speaking his truth. I don't care whether you agree, whether I agree. There is somebody speaking their truth. And there is an oversight body. He's a Canadian psychologist and very outspoken. And he's got viewpoints that the global narrative doesn't want him to have. And they're threatening to take away his medical license to practice as a certified psychologist. They're threatening to take that away unless he starts, well, agreeing with the global narrative, which he does not. And he has stated many times that he does not. A bit of cancel culture happening there. Well, we're just going to disown you and discredit you, and you won't be able to practice anymore. And I don't know how this is going to play out. My sense is I think they're going to shove him off the accredited body of medical practitioners, that he's not going to be able to call himself a psychologist anymore. And then what's going to happen? Whether this happens to Jordan Peterson or other people, this is what you're going to see. Institutions and oversight bodies, which are kind of representative of global authority. Global authority is going to try to be that. They're going to try to have the say, try to control the narrative, but you're going to have individuals, be they mavericks, be they renegades. You're going to have individuals in every sphere. So I'm using old Jordan Peterson as the example. Maybe it's in sports, maybe it's in politics, maybe it's in the medical fraternity, literal doctors, physicians. And by the way, that's also going to happen in Hollywood. Pop stars are going to start doing this. Actors are going to start doing this. You're going to start seeing the renegade and the maverick step away from the global authority. And that person's going to be threatened with being outcast. And they're going to let themselves be outcast. And what's going to happen is, because of this gold influx, this gold frequency that's come in, they're going to land up being bigger than the institution. The individual power is going to land up being bigger than the global authority, bigger than the institution itself. And you're going to see people in much the same way that if Sigmund Freud was alive today, if Carl Jung was alive today, we would see these great pioneers who would lead, not be led by, but would land up leading not just that fraternity that they're a part of, but humanity into something beyond. Because that's the thing. We've been trained to look at global authority as exactly that. That's the authority. That's the medical and dental board, for example. That's whatever the authority is. They've got the final say. Except you're going to start seeing humans who are really taking in the gold frequency, who are really stepping into their power. And as a result of stepping into individual power, they're going to start to illuminate the space of the collective consciousness and free the collective mind and free the collective from controlling narratives. You're going to see this in so many spheres. And again, it might be with people you love, might be with people that you don't love. It just doesn't matter. It matters that you start to see individual power, your individual power, for what it is. Something that will always supersede, always transcend global dominance, because power is exactly that. When somebody is using dominance, they're not powerful, they're fearful. When somebody is dominating, why must they dominate? Because power has nothing to prove. But the lack of power does. The lack of power is going to show up as dominance, because it's the illusion. That's what dominance is. It's the illusion of power. You're going to see real uptick, upsurgence, resurgence of true human power, and it's going to be the most thrilling thing. And you're going to start seeing that overtaking the global dominance, the global authority. And that's when you start seeing power in humanity again. And you've needed to see that. And we've needed to see that for a very, very long time. And you are it in your own small, teeny, weeny, tiny way. In your own life. Even if you don't interact with a lot of people, doesn't matter. You interact with a collective consciousness every single day. Not with your words, but with your ripple. You are the untold ripple, and I am so thrilled that your ripple is getting golden and it's amplifying. Remember I said I'm going to share with you ways in which you can draw these miracles in. I've already shared the first, which is gratitude. Gratitude's the key. Gratitude is to start being grateful for. There's doves in my background. God, they're beautiful. The sound fills me with such harmony and such joy. That's a little more tiny sliver of gratitude. The air around me is truly fresh, and it's beautiful, and it's pure, and it's pristine. And that's another little moment of gratitude. So start practicing tiny moments of gratitude, almost random moments of gratitude. Be receptive. So I've already covered those two things. And receptivity occurs like this, because a lot of people say, I don't know how. Please never worry about the how. Always instead focus on how willing am I. I am willing to be more grateful. I am willing to receive. That transcends the brain saying, I don't know how. There is no recipe. There is how much will you allow. And receptivity is something you allow. So you can say something along these lines. If this applied to you, I don't know how to be receptive, but I'm willing to be. Or I am receptive, but I'm willing to become even more receptive. Can you see how we need to stop working at the level of the brain and start going beyond that, where we belong as beings of higher intellect? Another thing that allows you to really get into your own gold is to start seeing that there is a true self. It's so easy to focus on the ego, so easy to focus on the things you've done wrong, so easy to focus on your failings, on your mistakes, on the displeasure. But spin that around and take a moment to get into your golden energy, which is to say, even if I don't see it, even if I can't touch it, taste it, feel it, remember it, connect with it, there is a higher truth within me, and it's much bigger, much deeper, broader, wider, so vast and miraculous that I can't even imagine it in its entirety right now. Wow! Imagine that. Feel the wonder and feel how that expands you as you connect to your wonderment. That beginning of connection to the higher truth, to the higher self, that's a huge key to you drawing in these miracles and to allow you to go beyond where the ego has led you and to start being soul-led. You become soul-led by connecting with your soul. Every day find a way to validate your soul, because you've been finding ways every day to validate your ego. That's all the places where you are in shortfall, all the places where you are in lack, in misery, in whatever it might be. But all the places where you are in harmony very often go unacknowledged. So start to see them, start to acknowledge them. This is a very simple practice that I'm going to give you now. I share it so often with my online community. And in its simplicity, it's one word, and the word is yes. But if you close your eyes and you feel the resonance of that word yes, what you're doing is you're opening yourself up to that receptive energy and you're claiming. Yes allows you to claim. So it's kind of like this. Imagine that beautiful gold energy, the abundance, the universal orchestration behind you, the fullness within your heart, and then use the word yes. Yes makes it bigger. Yes amplifies it, and yes claims it. Yes allows you to claim. And it's a feeling, it's not a word. It's the feeling that yes elicits that allows you to claim the gold that is yours, the beauty that is yours. And finally, this is one of the ways in which you claim and even reclaim the miracles that you belong to. Imagine yourself as an integral part of the universe, because you are. For so long, you've been entrained and programmed to see yourself as separate. Consciously choose to see yourself, even if just for a moment, not as separate, but as whole and integrated and a part of and belonging to this grand universal energy, which is bringing light and gold light back to planet Earth, you are a part of that process. And as you feel yourself a part of that process, guess what you're doing? You're making yourself whole and feeling yourself as the whole again, which is your nature. So all of this is you returning to your nature. And as you return to your nature, you are enriched. Take that word, enriched. It's a beautiful word. It's a word that so often we have pushed away. It's a word that so often we've not allowed ourselves to claim, as if to say, well, riches are for other people and I'm not enriched and I can't be enriched. Oh, but you can and you are. That gold light, gold energy of the universe is here to enrich you. So feel that word. I am enriched by this conversation, and in this moment, I am enriched. And you know what happens when you receive that enrichment? It makes you, it propels you towards reciprocation. It propels you something, and it's your human nature, by the way, that's the something, propels you to want to share that which has enriched you with others. And in this way, the ripple keeps rippling. It's a ripple of love, of the true human gold light consciousness. And you're a part of that ripple. Thank you so much for being a part of this with me and for being a part of this resurgence of gold light right here on planet Earth. You're a part of miracles, and I am so grateful to share this with you. From my heart straight into yours. I'm going to leave a video for you over here. Watch this next. Lots of love, everyone. Bye-bye for now.